weight you carry was never yours to hold. You were taught to bend instead of bloom. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the next episode of the 1111 Club. I'm in a hotel room right now because I'm on a little getaway and it's amazing. And today's episode is for kind of a specific person. The firstborn daughters, the good girls, the ones who kept the peace while losing pieces of themselves. And if this isn't your birth order, this might still resonate. And that means you belong here too. And if you are a man, you may actually resonate with some of this, or you can send this, you have my permission to send this to your favorite firstborn daughter. Now, this isn't a rant, it's a remembrance of how we were conditioned and how that conditioning was not random, it was on purpose. I am the oldest of 4. So from a very young age, I knew my role. Be the good little helper, the one who didn't make waves or rock the boat, the one who didn't get into trouble, the one who earned all of the gold stars from teachers and stayed out of the way the rest of the time. Now, it wasn't that I didn't know who I was. I just only knew the version of me that was safe. The version that followed the rules and kept the peace and kept everybody happy. That pattern stayed with me for decades. Well into my 30s, I was still defaulting to that people-pleasing good girl that would make my parents proud. And then I bought a house that they didn't approve of. And they had helped with a small portion of the down payment, but not all of it. And when I moved in, yeah, that house sucked. It was a headache. It was stressful. Things weren't working the way I imagined. And I remember thinking, maybe I should have listened to them. Maybe I did fuck this up. And I was still seeking their approval, still questioning my own authority. But 2 years later, I sold that house for a decent profit. And I bought the next one without needing anyone's help and entirely on my own. And that moment was the moment that cracked something open for me, because I stopped needing their approval and I finally started to trust me. I saw it clearly. They were living from their small selves, from fear and from lack. Now, they weren't wrong or bad. They just weren't the compass that I wanted to use anymore. And I was ready to be the captain of my own ship. From that moment on, I started to walk a very different path than my parents. And though we still love each other and don't always agree, we're still family. And I realized we don't need to be the same to stay connected. If you are the eldest daughter or you were raised like one, this might sound really familiar. You were the one who sensed the tension, who filled the gaps, who held it all together quietly and never needed too much. You didn't get that way by accident. You were trained. You were told, directly or indirectly, that your worth came from being helpful, good, quiet, competent. And that training created a blueprint that said, if I please, I'm loved. If I stay small, I stay safe. And this isn't a flaw, it's a survival strategy. And it's not just family dynamics, it's systemic. It's how patriarchy keeps women compliant. No, this is not turning into a feminist rant. But you see it because self-sacrificing women don't challenge power. If you are busy earning your worth through perfectionism and people-pleasing, you don't have the capacity to ask the bigger questions. Why does this system not support me? You see this firsthand as a mom. And we were never meant to thrive in it. We were meant to uphold it, because it didn't have the energy to challenge. The good girl archetype isn't just cultural, it's control. And the eldest daughter often gets the most potent dose of this. So let's talk about what it costs us to uphold this blueprint. Because I see it every day. Physically, it shows up in autoimmune conditions, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, in the throat that tightens when you try to speak your truth. I've even seen it show up as cancer. Emotionally, you feel resentful, unseen, exhausted. You become the container for everyone else's feelings, but no one holds yours. Energetically, your gifts stay quiet. Your voice dims, your intuition gets foggy under the weight of all of that responsibility. And your body keeps that score. But the score is calling for justice. You're not broken if this is you. You're not behind and you're not being dramatic if you've had enough of this. You were conditioned. And the good news is that what we learned can be unlearned. This reclamation doesn't require rage. It requires remembrance. Remembering that your worth was never meant to be proven. You're worthy because you exist. That your voice was never meant to be silenced. That shrinking was never the plan for your soul. But you have to feel this on that body level. So let's do a somatic exercise. If it's safe to do so, gently close your eyes, placing one hand on your heart, chest, or belly. Feel into the burden that you carry. All of the things that you've held that were never yours. Now imagine setting them down at your feet, on the floor, in the earth, or hand them back to Source. Deep breath as you release this and say quietly to yourself, I don't have to carry this anymore. I am allowed to take up space. Breathe in and out. Again, breathe in and out. I release this now. I am allowed to be free. I want to remind you of a few things. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn softness. And you don't have to be or do everything to be enough. When the eldest daughter lays down the armor, the whole lineage breathes easier. You breaking that pattern is not betrayal. It's freedom. It's liberation. I'm so proud of you for being here. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And until next time, I want you to trust your knowing, your intuition, and let it be sacred. Let it be simple. Let it be enough. Love you.